We are live. Yeah, guys. Like I said, uh, the power can go. It just went and came back, man. It just went turn off the router, right? Router for Wi-Fi router and just came right back. But the router takes time to get ready. I don't know what's the reason. And that too, it's not a maintenance thing, right? It's like 5 in the morning. I don't know why it's going like that. Hey, bro, I've read like you were saying you have a laptop launcher. Yeah, that won't work, man. Laptop launcher won't work. Yeah, how much is like a low end laptop over there? Laptop. Hey, not just any laptop. The new what is it called? Snapdragon laptops, right? Snapdragon 8 Elite. No, it's a mobile platform. Now, which one is the laptop? The laptops with Snapdragon? Laptop India. Holy shit! Okay, not. Fuck. Okay, they are costlier than the regular laptops apparently. Oh, by the way, wait, am I not streaming on this thing? I am, right? So apparently, this happens when you randomly, not when I randomly, when the stream just randomly goes off. Okay, no, it's there, right? It's working. It's working. How about in Twitch? At Twitch also it's there. Oh wait, then it's very live. Holy shit. Yeah, Subish, yeah, don't look at the Snapdragon laptop, bro. Wait, why is it that costly? I thought they were like less expensive than this. What the fuck? Uh, Wait, your mic is muted, or not? Okay, it's not right. Mic is fine, right? Yeah, and download my application. Yeah, not gonna happen, bro. And nobody on chat download his application. Bro, don't just randomly ask people to do shit. I am not asking you to do anything, right? Why do you ask me to do anything? Yeah, and Suvish, like, so when do you like potentially can get a laptop, like uh, for your studies? You know, like for your studies in some school applications, you need a laptop, right, for studies. At what, like, at what class will you get it? 18. Oh, like when you go to college. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, Subish. Start doing some. Hey, we discussed about that, right? Like selling your chicks. I mean, the baby chickens. Make it a business. I don't know. Earn some money. I don't know. Do something. You can do something to earn money, right? Yeah, I guess like you won't earn enough to buy a laptop. No, like you can get like a basic laptop. Not even a proper laptop. Even a. Are you Tamil? No, I am from nearby, bro. Kerala. Malayali, bro. Malayali. What about you? I scam scammers on dark web. Yeah, no, you are not, Subish. No, you are not. See, that's what I'm saying, right? You see, use your energy, time and energy on something more productive, which is see. I'm not saying scamming is not productive, but it's no, it's not right. It's not productive actually. I scam scammers on dark web. Not happening, bro. Subish, come on. You really think you are that smart, huh? You really think that high of yourself? Yeah, that's called arrogance, man. Arrogance is not good. What am I looking for? Uh, Not just laptop, like notebooks, right? Notebook laptop, yeah. Even notebook laptop will work. Even they are costlier. What? Okay, there is a refurbished one. Yeah, Subesh, you don't even need to get a first hand one, right? You can get a second hand one. The refurbished one looks good. So this is a good one actually. 16 GB RAM. No, this is like a very good laptop. Like the first hand version is expensive, but you don't need that. Uh, HP Elite laptop, Elite book. Yeah, this is a good one. I used to have this, so this one I had during my work. So this one is small. This is not like a proper big laptop, right? It's a small one. 46K and 46K NPR. Yeah, that's too much, huh? Okay. This one looks nice. Lenovo ThinkPad 15K. Yeah, Lenovo ThinkPads are actually not a bad idea. No, but I'm saying, see, there are things not scamming, right? Like real thing which you can do, real work you can do. But you need a laptop and a phone which you already have. But laptop is because like in crypto especially, right? All the applications because of the security purpose only. So if you find a way to emulate a phone using a laptop, launch your own phone, try to access it, you are risking. First of all, it won't work. See, like the people who designed it, right? They purposely made it so that like there are so many security factors in accessing the blockchain. So I don't want to go into the details, but you got what I'm saying, right? Yeah, Lenovo ThinkPads. You know, ThinkPads are good. ThinkPads are like solid system, bro. So I had a ThinkPad, not ThinkPad. I had a Lenovo laptop. I forgot its name. No, not Lenovo. I had a Toshiba. Toshiba. No, right now I have a Lenovo, and I had a Toshiba. So the Toshiba one I used for like 7 or 8 years, man. And even then it was still working. The only problem was the software was out of. You know one thing. No, I don't know one thing, man. Refer ThinkPad. Lenovo ThinkPad. Price range. Let's go to the minimum. 14. Yes, see, this is what I'm saying. This laptop will also work, but you need a laptop. Yeah, I'm not saying this is like a bad laptop, but basic, right? Basic. Even the basic things will work. But you need one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fine, Subesh. It's fine. 18, bro. 18. Till then, you can improve on your knowledge. Knowledge is another important thing, right? Growing your knowledge is good because by the time you see without knowledge you have everything else, it doesn't matter. And same the other way, but no, with for knowledge there is no limit, right? There is no age limit, there are no resource constraints. You can just learn things. Eventually when you get the resources you can use them. Fine. Okay, tax evasion and tax avoidance, their impact on economy and government revenue. Yesterday I gone to school after 2 days. Then I saw teacher change the backbenchers class. So need to teach every period teacher need to teach two classes. I don't get it, bro. What? Teacher changed the backbenchers class. So every period teacher need to teach two classes. I don't understand what you're trying to say, man. First of all, I don't know what backbenchers class is. Teacher changed the backbenchers class. Is it like a new system? I don't know. I explain, bro. Explain, or don't. It's fine. Just learn about tax evasion and tax avoidance, man. Both are bad. No, actually, evasion is bad. Evasion is illegal, and avoidance is bad, but it's not immoral or illegal. No, no, it's immoral, but it's not illegal. That's the difference. Okay. Tax evasion and tax avoidance, their impact on the economy and government revenue. Tax evasion and tax avoidance are two types of tax non compliance that can have a significant impact on the economy and government revenue. Tax evasion is a illegal act of deliberately not reporting or underreporting income or assets to avoid paying taxes, while tax avoidance is the illegal use of loopholes and deductions to minimize the amount of taxes owed. Both of these practices can result in a loss of government revenue and can have negative consequences for the economy. Tax evasion reduces the amount of tax revenue collected by the government, which can lead to a shortfall in funding for public services and programs. It can also create an unfair burden on those who do pay their taxes, as the government may need to increase tax rates to make up for the lost revenue. Additionally, tax evasion can contribute to income inequality, as those who evade tax may accumulate more wealth than those who do not. Tax avoidance, while legal, can also have negative consequences. By using loopholes and deductions, individuals and corporations may able to avoid paying their fair share of taxes. This can lead to a perception of unfairness in the tax system and can also result in a loss of revenue for the government. Additionally, the complexity of the tax system and the availability of tax shelters and other methods of avoidance can create an uneven playing field, benefiting those with the resources to take advantage of these tactics. Just you can think backbenchers are free from too much homework and study. Okay, now I understand the concept of backbenchers, right? But I don't get it, like why the teachers have to teach two classes. But okay. International differences in income tax rates and policies. International differences in income tax rates and policies exist due to various reasons, such as different economic structures, social policies, and political ideologies. Countries with higher income tax rates generally have more extensive social welfare systems and provide more public goods and services to their citizens. On the other hand, countries with lower income tax rates tend to prioritize economic growth and attract foreign investments. In some countries, income tax rates are progressive, while higher income earners are taxed at higher rates, while in others, the tax rates are flat, where everyone is taxed at the same rate regardless of their income level. Scandinavian countries such as Denmark, Sweden, and Norway have some of the highest income tax rates in the world, with rates reaching over 50% for high income earners. In contrast, some countries such as Russia and Saudi Arabia have a flat tax rate. The implementation and enforcement of income tax policies also vary across countries. Some countries have more effective tax collection and enforcement systems, while others struggle with tax evasion and avoidance. Tax havens, tax havens, countries that offer low tax rates and little to no transparency in their financial systems, allow individuals and corporations to avoid taxes in their home countries, leading to revenue loss for governments and economic distortions. They choose backbenchers and put them in other class. Oh, wait, I think I am getting it. Okay, okay. Kind of got it. But I still don't get it why the period teacher has to teach two classes. Because the regular class and the backbenchers class. Okay, okay, okay. Now I get it. So every backbenchers from like all the different classes they put together in one class, huh? Ah, Nice. I mean, the concept is good, but it won't work, right? Now, it won't work because now that backbenchers are gone, the next set of backbenchers will come up in the new classes, right? So, I mean, it's something, some change they are bringing, right? Good. The impact of technological advances on income tax collection and enforcement. The impact of income tax, the impact of technological advances on income tax collection and enforcement has been significant over the years. With the use of technology, tax authorities can now track income and assets more effectively, reducing the rate of tax evasion and increasing revenue collection. One significant technological development that has impacted income tax collection is the use of computer systems and software to process and store tax information. This has enabled the automation of many tax processes such as tax return preparation, filing, and assessment, making them more efficient and less prone to errors. The use of electronic payment systems and online platforms for tax filing and payment has also made the process of tax collection more convenient for taxpayers. Tax authorities can now accept payments through electronic means such as credit and debit cards, bank transfers, mobile payments, reducing the need for physical cash transactions. The use of data analytics and artificial intelligence has also transformed tax enforcement, enabling authorities to detect patterns and identify potential tax evaders more quickly. The use of big data analysis enables authorities to process and analyze large amounts of data from various sources, including social media, to identify discrepancies and anomalies that may indicate tax fraud. Only my class, and I'm proud to say I'm one of them. Yeah, that's not something to be proud of, Subish. I mean, to be a backbencher, right? I mean, it's not something to be proud of. See, why to even go someplace when you are uh, not gonna be part of it, right? Okay, in college, right? In college and all, we had an option. If you don't want to go to class, don't come to class. Just don't come to class and not attend the class properly or the lecture properly. So if you don't want to attend the lecture properly or do anything else, just don't come to the class. The teacher will directly tell you that. You know why students don't take upon that offer? Because they pay like lakhs of rupees to be a part of that class. So if you wanna come like sleepy on the class, the teacher will be like, no, just why? If you wanna sleep, just go to the hostel and sleep, right? Why do you even come to the thing? But students always, like shift the paradigm. The same thing can work there, right? See, why do you even you pay to be there? See, that's the thing. You pay to be in the class, but you are not taking use of the class. So it's not something to be proud of. It's kind of dumb, right? It's like I'll what is another example? Basic one. Okay, you spend money to buy biryani, then you don't eat it, and you let it go waste. Oh, are you proud of that, bro? No, it's actually really dumb if you think about it, but sure. Do you know what's your plan for lockdown? 24/7 live. No, like lockdown, right? Even the previous lockdown, we discussed this. Lockdowns never really affect the work, right? The work need not be stopped. So even basically my work, lockdown has nothing to do with it. There is no lockdown on the internet, right? So yeah, everything else goes as same. There is no difference or change in life when the lockdown comes. I don't know which lockdown are you saying? The new virus, huh? Yeah, nobody cares, man. Nobody cares. After the COVID scam, right? Everyone was like, okay, fuck this shit. Now, no matter if it's like a real thing and you die instantly if you catch it, people still be like, nah, it's fine. There's lockdown gonna happen. No, no, the government, see, even I'm saying like even the government can implement, but people don't really care, man. March 29th, huh? Sure, bro. But I'm saying you don't understand what I'm trying to say, right? After the the scam that happened, the scamdemic, right? People are over it, man. People are over it. Even if they see the level of lies that have been purported during that time, even if it's like a real thing, so like I'm saying, like if you catch it or someone who is affected touch you and you instantly die, I'm saying still people won't really care. That is the level of that's the level of propaganda people have been through. And I really like personally me, but no, I'm not really been through the. See, the uh, only regret I have is like falling for the propaganda and like taking the the jab. World War Three, yeah. Ah, that's not gonna happen. World War Three is, yeah. The moment like Trump got into office, that I mean, phew, that was over. Worry, that worry is over, right? Which is good. Yeah, yeah. With Trump in office, man, there won't be a world war. If it was not for Trump, yeah, by the time, by this time, right? Obviously, China would be attacking Taiwan. Then US will get into war with China to prevent its semiconductor, to protect its semiconductor. So much shit, bro. The Gaza ceasefire won't happen. The Ukraine, Putin won't agree to have a discussion on stopping the war. And none of this, even new wars, we don't even know, right? We don't even know what new wars the last administration would have started if it was not for Trump. Okay. The fair tax is a proposed alternative tax system that has been a topic of debate among policymakers and economists. The fair tax would replace the current federal income tax system with a national sales tax on all goods and services. The proponents of the fair tax argue that it would simplify the tax system and stimulate economic growth by reducing the tax burden on businesses and individuals. They also claim that fair tax would reduce the need for tax evasion and eliminate the need for the IRS. Critics of the fair tax argue that it would disproportionately benefit the wealthy and lead to a decrease in government revenue, which could lead to cuts in important social programs. They also argue that a national sales tax would disproportionately affect low income earners who spend a large proportion of their income on goods and services. Additionally, the implementation of national sales tax would require a significant overhaul to the current tax system, which could be difficult to accomplish, which is what Trump is trying to do. This is what Trump is trying to do. Other alternative tax systems have also been proposed, such as a flat tax or a value-added tax. A flat tax would apply the same tax rate to all income earners, regardless of income level, while also while a VAT would apply a tax to the value added at each stage of production of goods and services. Each of these systems has its own advantages and disadvantages and continues to be the subject of debate among policymakers and economists. Do you know why didn't you pick up my call? You are asking as if I'm. I already said that, right? I don't pick up calls, bro. Yeah. And fuck you for calling me. Trump was slain by Genu. I don't get it. What do you mean, like slain by Genu? No, I'm saying Trump is doing a good thing. I'm not. I'm not saying anything negative about Trump. This chapter. Yeah, this is like very important. See, when did the tax reform was proposed? Like the executive order was like signed day before yesterday or something, right? Not day, last week, I think. Wait. Uh, U.S. tax, income tax, executive order. Huh? New executive order, tax implications for multinational. Wait. A look at President Trump's America First Trade Policy Executive Order and International Tax. Not this one. 2025. Where's the news, bro? No, okay, I don't think it's in law, but they proposed, right? They proposed to get rid of the income tax. I think it's still in discussion. Like listened to the his speech, but it's not being reported properly. Yeah, this one, Trump to abolish income tax. Yeah, this is the one I was talking. I feel sleepy. Yeah, sleep, man. It's okay, Subish. You can sleep. Wait, did you know? Did you just wake up now, or are you like doing a night out? You woke up early, right? Yeah, try. It's a good thing to have like a habit of waking up early. It's good. If you want to sleep, you sleep, bro. Okay. The role of income tax in economic equality. The role of income tax in economic, not equality, economic inequality. The role of income tax in economic inequality is a highly debated topic. Proponents of progressive taxation argue that it can help reduce income inequality by taxing the wealthy at a higher rate and redistributing that income to fund social programs for the less fortunate. It sounds, it will work like how in theory in the papers communism works, but this never works actually, right? Like taxing the wealthy to redistribute the income, it never works. I don't know, man. Like, however, critics argue that the progressive taxation penalizes success and discourages economic growth, which in turn can actually exacerbate income inequality. One argument that the tax code itself can contribute to income inequality. Wealthy individuals and corporations can take advantage of loopholes and deductions that allow them to avoid paying their fair share of taxes. This is not this not only reduces government revenue but also contributes to a system where the wealthiest individuals and corporations can effectively avoid paying their share, leading to a larger income gap between the rich and poor. Additionally, some argue that income tax policies can have unintended consequences that can worsen economic inequality. For example, high tax rates on businesses and corporations may discourage investment and job creation, leading to fewer job opportunities and lower economic growth. This can disproportionately impact lower income individuals who rely on these jobs for their livelihood. I slept 2 a.m. I got 3 hours sleep. Yeah, that's not good, Subish. If you're gonna wake up early, like sleep early, right? Sleep like around like 10, not 10, not even 10. 8:39. I usually sleep like 8:39 and wake up at like 3:30. No, still it's like a 7 hour sleep, right? You need like a 7 hour sleep, Subish. 3 hours sleep, holy shit. No, not good, man, not good. Okay, the future of income tax and its potential reforms. The future of income tax and its potential reforms are a topic of constant discussion and debate. One potential reform that has been proposed by some is the implementation of flat tax where everyone pays the same percentage of their income regardless of their earnings. Proponents of a flat tax argue that it would simplify the tax system and reduce the need for complicated tax codes and regulations. Another potential reform is a progressive consumption tax where taxes are levied on what individuals spend rather than what they earn. This system is based on the idea that individuals should be taxed based on what they consume rather than what they produce. And it has been proposed as a way to encourage saving and investment while still generating revenue for the government. There is also ongoing discussion about the role of income tax in addressing economic inequality. Some argue that higher taxes on the wealthy are necessary to ensure that they pay their fair share and to fund programs that benefit the less fortunate. Others argue that higher taxes on the wealthy discourage investment and entrepreneurship, ultimately harming economic growth and job creation. Ultimately, the future of income tax and its potential reforms will be shaped by ongoing debates and discussions, as well as by changes in technology and the global economy. As societies continue to evolve and confront new challenges, the tax system will need to adapt to ensure that it remains effective and fair for all. Chapter 11, Milton Friedman's Theory on Debt Money System. When I'm sleep, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Yeah, good night, man. No, it's good morning, but still. Don't miss class. Okay, Milton Friedman. That fucker saying he's sleepy now, I am feeling sleepy. What is this? Yo. Okay. Milton Friedman. Yeah. Milton Friedman's background and influence on economics. Milton Friedman was an American economist and a Nobel Prize laureate, born in 1912 in Brooklyn, New York. He graduated from Rutgers University and earned a PhD in economics from Columbia University. He started his academic career as an economics professor at the University of Chicago in 1946, where he spent most of his career. Friedman was a prolific writer and researcher, publishing numerous papers, books, and articles on a wide range of economic topics. Friedman is widely considered one of the most influential economists of the 20th century. His work has been influential in shaping economic policy and theory, particularly in the areas of monetary economics and macroeconomics. He is known for his advocacy of free markets, limited government, and individual liberty. His ideas on monetarism and the role of the money supply in determining economic growth and inflation have been highly influential. Friedman's work has had a significant impact on economic policy in the United States and around the world. His ideas on monetary policy and the role of central bank in regulating the money supply have influenced the policies of the Federal Reserve as well as central banks in other countries. He has been a vocal advocate for free trade and globalization, and his work has been influential in shaping international economic policy. Friedman's influence on economic thought and policy continues to be felt today. The concept of monetarism and its role in Friedman's economic theory. Monetarism is an economic theory developed by Milton Friedman that emphasizes the role of money supply in determining the economic growth rate and inflation level. According to monetarism, inflation is caused by an increase in money supply that exceeds the growth rate of the economy. This theory contrasts with Keynesian economics, which focuses on the role of government spending and fiscal policy in stimulating economic growth. In Friedman's view, the central bank should control the money supply by adjusting interest rates and regulating the growth rate of the money supply. By keeping the money supply stable and predictable, the central bank can promote economic growth and avoid inflationary pressures. One of the key principles of monetarism is the velocity of money, which refers to the speed at which money is spent in the economy. Friedman believed that the velocity of money was relatively stable over time, meaning that changes in the money supply would have a predictable impact on inflation and economic growth. Monetarism gained prominence in 1970s as many countries experienced high inflation rates and slow economic growth. Friedman's ideas influenced policymakers who implemented monetarist policies as an effort to combat inflation and stimulate economic growth. However, monetarism fell out of favor in the 1980s as many economists began to question the validity of the theory and its effectiveness in promoting economic growth. Friedman's critique of the debt money system and its impact on the economy. Milton Friedman was a prominent critic of the debt money system and its impact on the economy. According to Friedman, the current monetary system creates inflationary pressures and increases the likelihood of economic instability. His critique of the debt money system was rooted in his belief that the money supply should be tightly controlled and not be allowed to expand unchecked, as it has been under the current system. Friedman argued that the creation of money by the banking system is the primary driver of inflation and that the expansion of money supply beyond the growth rate of the economy leads to economic instability. That I forgot, man. What is the full name? Photic reflex. He argued that the current system of fractional reserve banking, where banks can create money by lending out more than they have on deposit, create an artificial expansion of the money supply that leads to inflation and economic instability. Friedman proposed that the money supply would be tightly controlled by the central bank with a fixed rate of growth that is in line with the growth rate of the economy. He advocated for a system where the central bank would target the growth rate of the money supply rather than interest rates, which he believed would lead to more stable economic growth and lower inflation. Friedman's critique of dead money system and his advocacy for tighter control over money supply have had a significant impact on the development of monetary policy, particularly in the United States and other developed economies. His ideas continue to be influential today, and his work is still studied and debated by economists around the world. The quantity theory of money and its relationship to inflation. The quantity theory of money is a central tenet of Milton Friedman's economic theory, which asserts that changes in the money supply have a direct impact on the level of prices in an economy. According to the theory, an increase in the money supply will lead to a proportional increase in prices, assuming all else remains constant. In other words, if the money supply in the economy doubles, prices will also double. Friedman believed that the quantity theory of money provided a more accurate explanation of inflation than the Keynesian view that inflation is caused by excess demand in the economy. He argued that government efforts to stimulate the economy through deficit spending would ultimately lead to inflation as the increased demand caused by government spending would meet with the increase in prices. Friedman's view was that controlling the money supply. Wait 1 minute. Yesterday while reading, I had like a thought about an idea about a book, but I lost it. Now I only remember. I don't remember the idea. Now I only remember the feeling. Like okay, I remember something while reading it, but I can't recollect what it is. Okay, so now I am getting an idea. So wait, Keynesian and Milton. Okay, it became Milton, huh? Oh, it's not Milton, guys. It's Milton. Shit. Right. Milton. Milton Friedman's theory uh, versus Keynesian. Like the connection, not versus. Like unifying them. Hopefully, I'll. No, no. Hopefully, I'll remember the thought after the stream. Uh, Friedman's view that controlling the money supply was the most effective way to control inflation, and he believed that central banks should be responsible for managing the money supply. He advocated for a fixed rate of growth in the money supply, ideally around 3 to 5% per year, in order to maintain price stability. While the quantity theory of money has been subject to criticism and debate, it remains an important part of Friedman's economic legacy and has influenced economic policy and practice in many countries around the world. Getting hiccup. Friedman's advocacy for a fixed money supply and its impact on economic stability. Milton Friedman was a proponent of the monetary school of economic thought, which emphasized the importance of controlling the money supply in order to maintain economic stability. He believed that a fixed and predictable money supply was necessary for stable economic growth and to avoid inflationary pressures. Friedman argued that the government should have a fixed growth rate for the money supply, which should be adjusted in proportion to changes in the overall economy. He believed that if the money supply grew too quickly, inflation would result, which, while too little money growth would lead to deflation and economic contraction. According to Friedman, a fixed money supply would help to stabilize the economy by creating predictable, stable monetary conditions. This would encourage investors and businesses to make long term investments and plans, which would in turn promote economic growth and stability. Friedman's advocacy for a fixed money supply was highly controversial as it contradicted the policies of the Keynesian school of thought, which argued for government intervention to stabilize the economy during times of economic downturn. Nevertheless, Friedman's ideas have had a significant impact on monetary policy around the world, and the idea of a fixed money supply is still widely discussed and debated today. The role of government intervention in the economy, according to Friedman. Milton Friedman was a strong advocate for free market economics and believed that government intervention in the economy was often harmful. According to Friedman, the government should have limited role in the economy with the primary responsibility being maintain the stability of the monetary system. He believed that a stable monetary system was essential for economic growth and that excessive government intervention could lead to inflation and economic instability. Friedman argued that the government's main responsibility was to ensure a stable monetary policy by controlling the money supply. He believed that the government should follow a strict monetary policy that limits the growth of the money supply to prevent inflation. He advocated for a fixed money supply which would be determined by the growth rate of the economy. He argued that a fixed money supply would provide stability to the economy and prevent the government from using monetary policy to manipulate the economy. Friedman also believed that government intervention in other areas of economy, such as price controls and regulation, was often counterproductive. He argued that these interventions often lead to unintended consequences and distorted market signals, leading to inefficient outcomes. Instead, he believed that the market should be left to operate freely, with government intervention only when necessary to prevent market failures. The impact of monetary policy on business cycles and economic growth. Monetary policy refers to the actions taken by a central bank to manage the money supply and interest rates in an economy. According to Friedman's theories, the impact of monetary policy on business cycles and economic growth is significant. He believed that excessive growth of the money supply leads to inflation, which can be detrimental to economic growth in the long run. Friedman argued that the central bank should focus on maintaining a stable and predictable growth rate of the money supply over time. This would allow individuals and businesses to plan and make decisions with confidence, leading to a more stable economic environment. In contrast, an unpredictable and unstable money supply could lead to uncertainty and volatility in financial markets, potentially causing economic downturns. Friedman also believed that monetary policy could be used to manage the business cycle by adjusting interest rates. He argued that the central bank should lower interest rates during economic downturns to stimulate borrowing and spending, and raise interest rates during periods of growth to curb inflation and prevent economic overheating. Overall, Friedman's theories on the impact of monetary policy on business cycles and economic growth emphasize the importance of stability and predictability in money supply. The use of interest rate adjustments to manage fluctuations in the economy. The debate over Friedman's view on the gold standard. Milton Friedman was a prominent advocate for the gold standard, a monetary system in which the value of the currency is directly tied to a fixed amount of gold. In his view, the gold standard was superior to fiat currency because it ensured that the supply of money was limited and that inflation was kept under control. Friedman argued that the gold standard was the key to achieving economic stability and preventing the kind of economic disruptions that were common during the Great Depression. He believed that the gold standard would promote international trade by ensuring that exchange rates were stable and predictable. However, many economists and policymakers were critical of Friedman's advocacy for gold standard. They argued that it was an outdated system that was ill suited to the complexities of the modern global economy. Critics also pointed out that the gold standard had proved to be a hindrance during times of crisis, such as the banking panics of the 19th century. Despite criticisms, Friedman's views on the gold standard have had a lasting impact on the economic debate. Even today, there are advocates for a return to gold standard, and the debate over the merits of such a system continues. Criticism of Friedman's theories on debt money system. Milton Friedman's theories on the debt money system and monetarism have been the subject of much debate and criticism. One of the main criticisms of Friedman's theories is that they rely too heavily on the assumption that the economy is always in a state of equilibrium and that changes in the money supply will always lead to predictable outcomes. Critics also argue that Friedman's advocacy for a fixed money supply ignores the fact that demand for money is not constant and that changes in demand can lead to fluctuations in the economy. Additionally, some argue that Friedman's focus on controlling the money supply through monetary policy ignores the importance of fiscal policy and government spending in stabilizing the economy. Another criticism of Friedman's theories is that they do not take into account the role of financial markets and the banking system in the creation of money. Critics argue that debt money system is not simply a matter of government creating money, but is also influenced by the behavior of banks and financial institutions. Finally, some critics argue that Friedman's theories on dead money system fail to adequately address issues of income inequality and the distribution of wealth, and that his emphasis on free markets and limited government intervention may exacerbate these issues. The impact of Friedman's work on contemporary economic policy and practice. Milton Friedman's work has had a significant impact on contemporary economic policy and practice. His idea on monetarism, inflation, and the role of government intervention in the economy have influenced economic policies around the world. Friedman's emphasis on the importance of controlling the money supply and his critique of government intervention in the market have been adopted by many policymakers. One major impact of Friedman's work has been the increased use of monetary policy as tool for controlling inflation and stabilizing the economy. Many central banks around the world, including Federal Reserve in the United States, have adopted a more active role in managing the money supply and using interest rates as a means of controlling inflation and promoting economic growth. Friedman's work has also influenced the way that policymakers think about the role of government in the economy. His emphasis on the importance of limiting government intervention and allowing market forces to operate freely has led to a greater emphasis on deregulation and free trade. However, Milton Friedman's ideas have also been subject to criticism, particularly regarding their applicability to developing countries and the potential negative consequences of limiting government intervention. Nonetheless, his work has been highly influential in shaping contemporary economic policies and continued to be an important part of economic discourse. Yeah, my nose is closing up, man. What the hell? Friedman's view on the independence of central bank and its role in monetary policy. Friedman was a staunch advocate for the independence of the central bank and believed that it was essential for maintaining the stability of the economy. According to Friedman, the central bank should be free from political pressure and should be allowed to pursue monetary policy based on economic considerations alone. Friedman's view on the independence of the central bank was based on his belief that the government should not be trusted to maintain a stable money supply over the long term. He argued that political pressures could lead to the government printing too much money, causing inflation and reducing the value of the currency. Friedman also believed that central banks should focus on controlling the money supply rather than attempting to influence other aspects of the economy such as employment and economic growth. He argued that the central bank's primary role was to maintain a stable price level, which would in turn lead to long-term economic stability and growth. Friedman's views on the independence of the central bank have had a significant impact on contemporary economic policy and practice. Many central banks around the world have been granted greater independence in recent years, and there is a growing consensus that central banks should focus on maintaining price stability as their primary goal. However, there are still debates over the appropriate level of independence for central banks and the extent to which they should pursue economic goals such as employment and growth. The relationship between Friedman's theories and financial crisis. Milton Friedman's theories have been subject to intense debate in the context of financial crisis. His ideas regarding the debt money system, monetary policy, and the role of government in the economy have all been scrutinized in light of various financial crises that have occurred over the years. Friedman's emphasis on the importance of monetary policy in controlling inflation has been criticized for neglecting the role of other factors such as asset bubbles and financial market instability in causing crisis. In particular, some have argued that his focus on maintaining a stable money supply and limiting the role of government intervention may have contributed to the 2008 financial crisis, as financial institutions engaged in risky behavior without adequate regulation. On the other hand, advocates of Friedman's theories have pointed out that his emphasis on the importance of stable money supply and a predictable monetary policy can help prevent financial crisis in the first place by avoiding rapid changes in the money supply and keeping inflation under control. Central banks can help maintain economic stability and avoid the types of boom and bust cycles that have historically led to financial crisis. Overall, the relationship between Friedman's theory and financial crisis is complex and multifaceted. While some of his ideas have been criticized for contributing to financial instability, others have praised for their potential to promote long term economic stability and growth. The impact of Friedman's work on international monetary policy. Milton Friedman's work on monetary policy and economic theory had a significant impact on international monetary policy. His advocacy for free markets and limited government intervention in the economy resonated with policymakers and academics around the world, leading to the widespread adoption of neoliberal economic policies. One area in which Friedman's ideas had a particular impact was in the field of exchange rate regimes. Friedman was a proponent of flexible exchange rates, arguing that they allowed for greater adjustment to changes in economic conditions and reduced the likelihood of trade imbalances. This view was influential in the abandonment of the fixed exchange rate system that had been in place since the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944, leading to the adoption of floating exchange rates by most major economies. Friedman's ideas also had an impact on economic development policy. No. Impact on international development policy. He argued that economic growth was driven by free markets and that the best way to promote development was through trade and foreign investment. This view led to the promotion of neoliberal policies such as privatization and deregulation in developing countries, often at the expense of social programs and labor protections. However, Friedman's ideas have also been criticized for their negative impact on developing countries, as well as for their failure to prevent financial crisis. Critics argue that the emphasis on market forces and limited government intervention has led to increased inequality, financial instability, and environmental degradation. Nonetheless, Friedman's work remains influential in shaping international economic policy debates. Friedman's views on the relationship between inflation and unemployment. Milton Friedman's views on relationship between inflation and unemployment are encapsulated in the theory of the natural rate of unemployment, also known as non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment or NAIRU. According to this theory, wait, it's NAIRU. It sounds fun. Okay. Non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment. I'll write it. I'll write it. Non-accelerating inflation rate. of unemployment or Nairo. According to this theory, there exists a natural rate of unemployment that is determined by the underlying structure of the labor market, such as the level of skills of the workforce, the level of technological advancement, and the degree of labor market regulation. When the unemployment rate is at a natural rate, when the unemployment rate at this natural rate, the economy is set to operate at full employment and inflation is stable. However, if the unemployment rate falls below the natural rate due to expansionary monetary and fiscal policies, wages and prices will begin to rise as employers compete for scarce workers. This leads to inflation and the economy enters an unsustainable boom phase. Conversely, if the unemployment rate rises above the natural rate due to contractionary monetary and fiscal policies, wages and prices will fall as workers compete for scarce jobs. This leads to deflation and the economy enters a recessionary phase. Friedman's view was that monetary policy should be used to stabilize the money supply and avoid fluctuations in the inflation and economic growth, rather than trying to manipulate employment levels. He argued that attempts to reduce unemployment below its natural rate through monetary policy would be futile, as it would only lead to higher inflation without any lasting reduction in unemployment. Friedman's view on the relationship between inflation and unemployment have been highly influential in shaping contemporary macroeconomic policy and are still widely debated by economists. The impact of Friedman's theories on development of economic thought and policy. Milton Friedman's theories have had a significant impact on the development of economic thought and policy. Friedman was one of the most influential economists of the 20th century, and his ideas on the role of government in the economy, the importance of monetary policy, and the impact of inflation on economic growth continue to shape economic thinking and policy today. Friedman's advocacy for a fixed money supply and his emphasis on the importance of monetary policy in controlling inflation and promoting economic stability have been particularly influential. These ideas have influenced the development of modern central banking, with many central banks adopting inflation targeting as a key component of their monetary policy frameworks. Friedman's views on the role of government in the economy have also been influential, particularly his belief in the importance of limiting government intervention in the economy and allowing markets to operate freely. This idea has been embraced by many policymakers around the world and has contributed to the growth of free market capitalism as a dominant economic system. However, Friedman's ideas have also been subject to criticism, particularly in their application to the real world economic issues. Some critics argue that Friedman's focus on monetary policy and his opposition to government intervention in the economy failed to account for the complex interactions between markets and government, and that his views may not be applicable in all economic contexts. Overall, however, Friedman's contributions to economic thought and policy have been significant, and his ideas continue to shape the way that economists and policymakers think about monetary policy, government intervention, and economic growth. And my nose is again closing up. Man. Okay, next is chapter 12, examples of debt free money systems. Oh, examples of debt free money system. Examples of debt in existence. Case studies. Okay, so the first one is the Vogel experiment. So it's like Vogel, W. Yeah, yesterday also this was mentioned, right? A bit. So it's written as W, and it's not a regular O, it's this O. I don't know how that's spelled. So this is the Vogel experiment, first one. I think I'm pronouncing it right, but let's see. A case study of a successful debt-free money system implemented during Great Depression in Austria. During the Great Depression in Austria, a small town named Vogel successfully implemented a debt-free money system that had a significant impact on local economy. The experiment was initiated by the town's mayor, Michael Unterguggenberger. Unterguggenberger. It's an Austrian name, right? Shit. Who faced, okay, we'll just call him Michael. Mike. Mike is good. Who faced high levels of unemployment and lack of available funds for public works projects. The system worked by issuing a new currency called free geld. Free geld. The currency is called free geld. That was only valid for a limited time period and required a small fee for its use. This incentivized people to spend their currency quickly, promoting economic activity and preventing hoarding. Additionally, the town levied a tax on currency holders, further discouraging hoarding and encouraging circulation. The results of the Vogel experiment were remarkable. Unemployment dropped dramatically, and public works projects were completed in a fraction of the time it would have taken with traditional financing. Local businesses thrived as the increased circulation of money stimulated demand for their products and services. However, the experiment was eventually shut down by the Austrian National Bank, which argued that the system violated laws regarding legal tender. Despite this setback, the Vogel experiment remains a significant example of the or not political, of the potential benefits of a debt-free money systems, especially in times of economic crisis. It also demonstrated the importance of local initiatives in addressing economic challenges and sparked further interest in alternative economic models around the world. The next one is Guernsey experiment. Again, this is also written differently. So let me write it down. Guernsey. Guernsey experiment. The Guernsey experiment, a case study of how the island of Guernsey issued its own debt free currency in the 19th century to fund public works projects. The Guernsey experiment is a historical example of a successful debt free money system. In the mid 19th century, the island of Guernsey, a self governing British Crown dependency, faced a major problem in funding public works projects due to lack of available funds. As a solution, the island's parliament passed a law in 1816 allowing them to issue their own currency, which they did in the form of paper notes. The notes were issued without any corresponding debt, and their value was backed by the island's ability to levy taxes on its citizens. The notes were widely accepted on the island and helped fund